Wexford are now 6 games unbeaten against Kilkenny, and you kind of want to do that to a close rival, especially someone that you know you're going to meet every year in Leinster. Get them used to not beating you, especially when teams are always bringing through new players, and the last thing you want is them used to beating you. So it was 116 to 114 for a finish. Horrendous conditions in Wexford. Arguably, game shouldn't have gone ahead at all, certainly in terms of it being any sort of a hurling spectacle, much like the games we've seen at the weekend already. Carlow against Dublin, Laois against Clare. It kind of what's it really add to the sport? One team has a massive win, the other team has a massive win, and it's kind of just a bit of a joke of a sort of game. So Wexford had it in the first half, had far more chances. They were up 110 to 5 points at that stage, and it looked like such a significant win that they might struggle to hold on. And by the time it hit the 51st minute or something like that, it was 112 to 111 to Wexford, who'd barely gotten a shot off in the first. They got a point straight away from Paul Morris to go 111 to 6 ahead, and it was actually 110 to 6 at half time, but to go that far ahead. And at that stage then Kilkenny took over. Billy Ryan robbed the ball off Simon Donoghue, who was under pressure at times, buried it to the net. Darren Brennan with a long range free, Martin Keown, who wasn't in the game that much, and then Richie Hogan, who it was tough for all inside forwards, bar Conor MacDonald snapping that ball over Hugh Lawler at the start and burying it and playing quite well. Most inside forwards, much like the other game, struggled to get into it, but Richie Hogan got 2 beauties in the space of, I'd say, a minute, taken off not all that long after that. But it was a nice cameo, but probably will himself want to be getting on the score sheet a little bit more. But as I said, it's a tough day for all inside forwards. So John Donnelly put Kilkenny ahead, but Wexford had just brought all the main lads in off the bench. So Chin come on, Rory O'Connor came on, Jim O'Keefe had come on, Matt O'Hanlon, and it kind of is a sign of the times that Wexford don't have to start all these guys to be competitive with Kilkenny. Now at the same time, Kilkenny didn't have TJ Reid, didn't have Colin Fennelly, a few more lads to come in yet, but the last 20 minutes after John Donnelly put Kilkenny ahead, Kilkenny struggled to get scores from there on out. The ball wasn't sticking up front. The scores they did get were a free from Alan Murphy, and by the way, he holds the ball on his hurley for an age. I wonder sometimes was Fergal Horgan close to calling a free, and Paddy Deegan. And even one of those frees was a late flick from Joe O'Connor really far up the field. Possibly shouldn't have been a scoring opportunity for Kilkenny at all, only for a silly late flick, and the free was from where the ball landed. So the point being that Kilkenny were very much struggling for scoring opportunities. Meanwhile, Wexford, 5 of the last 7 points in the game, they scored even though they were playing against that sort of a win. So that's impressive. What really, in terms of what was good about their play, just the way Davy Fitz has those players with the overlap and runs up the field. How many times did you see Kevin Foley getting up the flanks as soon as play starts developing and they have the ball? Because it's been run up the field, if he overlaps quick enough, it's not all that often that the ball is driven 90 yards. He can overlap up the wings and he gets on the ball. So he was very good. There was a free he won at the very end of the game. I think it was Kieran Wallace fouled him up the wing. He just waited for the last second. There was a 50-50 ball on the ground, flicked it on, and Wallace kind of took him out. But then I think about a minute later, Foley intercepted 2 balls at the other end of the field. So what a player he is. Another guy that really impressed me was Joe O'Connor, played cornerback on Wally Walsh for the most of the game. Just before, I think it was a little bit just before half time, Walsh there was a lovely switch from Killian Buckley out in front of Wally Walsh, turned Joe O'Connor, kind of breezed past him, scored a nice point. But in general, a very, very good performance from Joe O'Connor, and he was one of these guys that was able to overlap, run up the field, get out in front of his man, and he's definitely shown Davy Fitz a nice bit this season already from what I've seen. And let's say they meet in the championship again and Davy Fitz knows his matchup in terms of Matt O'Hanlon will go on TJ Reid. That's the way it's been for the last few years. Does he now feel confident that Joe O'Connor can do a job on Wally Walsh? Because I'm sure Joe O'Connor's going to come out with that, come out of that with an awful lot of confidence. Aidan Nolan started the first half like a house on fire. Jack O'Connor really, really good. I think Jack O'Connor is he's always been an abrasive sort of character, but early on in the game he was getting himself a couple of scores. So definitely a lot of positives for Wexford and for Kilkenny. They tried a few things out there, like Hugh Lawler, obviously that ball snapped over him for the goal, and the beautiful back flick finish from Conor MacDonald. I mean, MacDonald snaps ball over most people, so maybe it's not too much to worry about. But it was kind of a very much an experimental Kilkenny team, experimental full back line in terms of having Kieran Wallace, who we haven't seen that much in there, and then Conor Brown, who was a midfielder last year, been moved into the corner back line. Now maybe it's a bit of a needs must, and it'll change as time goes on, and we'll see more of the old regulars like Joey Holden back there, Paul Murphy there. But yeah, for Kilkenny, I mean, probably not going to get too carried away with it, but at the same time, 6 games now without a win over Wexford, they won't be too happy with that. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching Our Game. Don't forget to like and share the videos, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe.